She asked me to pretend to be her husband. I didn't expect it to feel real. I wasn't supposed to be there that day. I only went because my friend canceled last minute and I didn't want to waste the reservation. It was one of those upscale restaurants. Quiet, dim lighting, the kind of place people go for anniversaries or serious conversations. I remember feeling slightly out of place. Then she sat down across from me. Without asking. "Hi," she said calmly. "I need your help." I stared at her. "Do I know you?" "No," she replied. "But I know this is weird. Just give me a minute." She glanced over her shoulder. I followed her gaze. There was an older couple seated a few tables behind us, watching closely. Then she looked back at me. "They think I'm married," she said. "And right now, I need you to be my husband." I blinked. "That's not a small favor." "I know," she said, "but I'll explain everything after. Please." There was something in her expression. Not panic. Not fear. More like urgency. Like she didn't have another option. I exhaled slowly. "How long?" "Just dinner." I hesitated, then nodded once. "All right." Her shoulders relaxed slightly. "Thank you." Then, without hesitation, she reached across the table and placed her hand over mine. Not gently. Not lightly. Firm. Like she needed it to look real. "Daniel," she said softly, like she was reminding herself. "That's your name tonight." I almost laughed. Of course it is. From that moment on, she didn't break character. Not once. She spoke to me like she had known me for years. "You're always late," she said casually. "I'm right on time," I replied. She smiled. The kind of smile that looked practiced. Convincing. But her eyes, they were different. Focused. Careful. At some point, the waiter came. She didn't even look at the menu. "You'll have the steak," she said, glancing at me. "Medium. And he'll say he doesn't want dessert, but he will." I raised an eyebrow. "That's very specific." She leaned in slightly. "Trust me." And somehow, I did. Dinner went on like that. Back and forth. Easy. Natural. Too natural. At one point, her hand slid from mine to rest lightly on my wrist. Then later, on my arm. Small touches. But consistent. Intentional. The couple behind us eventually stopped watching. And after a while, she let out a slow breath. "They're gone," she said quietly. I leaned back slightly. "So do I get an explanation now?" She looked at me. Really looked this time. Like she was deciding how much to say. "They're my parents," she said. I frowned. "Okay. They think I'm married," she continued. "Happily married. And you're not." She shook her head slowly. "No." There was a pause. "Why?" I asked. She smiled slightly. But it didn't reach her eyes. "Because it's easier than explaining why I'm not." That answer stayed with me. We should have ended it there. Paid the bill. Walked away. Forgot about each other. But we didn't. "Thank you," she said as we stepped outside. The night air was cool. Quiet. Different from inside. "You didn't have to do that." "I know," I said. She hesitated. Then, "Can I ask you something?" "Depends." She smiled faintly. "Would you be willing to do this again?" I looked at her. "You want me to keep pretending?" She nodded. "Just sometimes." I should have said no. I didn't. That's how it started. At first, it was occasional. Dinners. Events. Situations where she needed to maintain the story. And every time, she became that version of herself again. Warm. Playful. Comfortable. Like she belonged next to me. And every time, it felt a little less like pretending. Then one night, everything changed. We weren't around anyone. No parents. No audience. Just us. "Why do you still do this?" I asked. She didn't answer immediately. Instead, she looked at me. Not like she usually did. Not controlled. Not careful. Just honest. "Because it feels real with you," she said. My chest tightened. "That's dangerous," I replied quietly. She stepped closer. "So is pretending it doesn't." There was no one watching. No reason to act. And yet, she reached for my hand. Just like she always did. Only this time, it felt different. "I don't know where the line is anymore," I admitted. She smiled slightly. "Neither do I." I looked at her. Really looked at her. And for the first time, I didn't feel like I was playing a role. "I don't want to pretend anymore," I said. She held my gaze. Then stepped closer. Close enough that I could feel her breath. "Then don't," she whispered. And when I kissed her, it wasn't part of the act. Her lips were warm. Soft. And she didn't hesitate. Her hand moved up to my neck, pulling me closer. And in that moment, I realized something. I wasn't her fake husband anymore. And I didn't want to be. Thank you for watching. Check out my channel for more stories like this. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share. Midnight Tea Stories.